Today I want to talk to you about retainer versus pay per show and why I don't believe in the pay per show model. But first, alright, so this is Fabi, and she's trying a Starbucks cheese Danish for the first time. Oh yeah. ¿Cómo está? It's good? You like it? Okay, so today we're riding in the Mazda. I'm about to take the car to get a wash and we're gonna do some cleaning because I recently put the car on Turo. Since we have the Tesla now, it sits in our garage and we never use it. Like the battery dies on us all the time. So I said, you know what? The car's just sitting here. We're paying for insurance. Why not put the car up on Turo and see if it can actually make us some money? So actually I already got rented. They took it on a trip. They brought it back yesterday and then it got rented for tomorrow. So I'm just like, what? You know, it's pretty awesome. So we're gonna go to the car wash, get this baby cleaned up, and I'll talk to you guys more about pay per show and my thoughts on it. Let's go. So they just opened up a car wash like right next to my house, which is pretty awesome. Alright guys, so I'm back at the office. Funny thing, as I'm cleaning the car, I get a text from the lady who rented the car saying that she was on her way. I panic, I start getting everything ready. I drive back to the house. I tell Billy that the lady's on the way and she's like, wait, isn't it supposed to be tomorrow? She's supposed to pick up the car tomorrow. And I'm like, oh yeah. Turns out that the chick made a mistake. She booked it a day late. I told her, hey, good news, the car's already ready, so if you want to take it, that's awesome. She's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. So anyway, we adjusted the date. But I'm actually really excited. We started putting the car on Turo and it's already, I think for the most part, it's already been rented for half the month and we've generated about $350. That's actually take home. So that's pretty cool for the car just kind of sitting there not doing anything. So if you have a car and it's just sitting there not doing anything, definitely check out Turo because it's a nice way to earn some extra cash. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about pay per show. So back in 2020, the pay per show model became very popular, and actually our agency was one of the first agencies that actually came into market with the pay per show model. I have an agency named Engage. We specialize in patient acquisition for dental and ortho. When we first came into market, that offer just helped us explode. We went from one client to over 70 clients within a 3-month period. And so it was a really great opportunity for us to help us grow. I believe the offer was pioneered by Alex Hormozi. So if you don't know who Alex Hormozi is, just go ahead and type his name here in YouTube, or just, I'll put his link to his channel below, but he's become a sensation since 2020. I mean, he was already a sensation in different spaces, and then he got into YouTube and he just blew up. So I actually had the opportunity to work very closely with Alex Hormozi and the software that he built during that time called Alan, which helped an agency like ours implement artificial intelligence into their text messaging so that as we generate leads for our clients, the AI was texting them and trying to get them booked for a consultation. And the way that we charged money was if somebody showed up to the appointment, that's when we would charge a fee. So pay per show was actually a really great model for us at the time because everybody just hated working with agencies. Like everybody already knew that if you wanted to work with an agency, you had to pay them a monthly retainer, you know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. And basically a lot of people had been burned from marketing agencies. And so when we actually came into market and we said, said, hey, you don't have to pay us a retainer, only pay us when a patient shows up, which is what they really wanted, then that changed the game for us, and it just gave us a competitive advantage that nobody else had. And that's how we just exploded. We got to a 7-figure run rate within a 3-month period, and that was amazing for us. But there's always pros and cons to every model that you implement, and we learned a lot. So now that you know what Paper Show is, let me give you the 3 reasons why I don't recommend it, specifically if you're working in the medical industry. All right, so we're done with our meetings today. I'm gonna walk you through why I personally just don't believe in the Paper Show model. Again, I will say these are my opinions. You could probably argue all of them. And hey man, by all means, go ahead and do so. Go ahead and go run a Paper Show agency and then get back to me. So one of the things that I enjoy about my agency right now is that I know how much money we're gonna be making every single month, and that's our MRR, our monthly reoccurring revenue. And one of the downsides about Paper Show is that your revenue is gonna fluctuate all over the place. Now, you do have the advantage that if you help a client make more money or get more people to show up, then you can ultimately make more money. And that's fine, but what I noticed is that at the end of the day, it always just levels out. And I rather personally, this is a personal, choice, I'd rather know how much money I'm gonna be making every single month so that I can then account for my expenses versus just always kind of playing a guessing game and just knowing like, oh my God, okay, is this client's gonna pay me for 10 shows, so the client's gonna pay me for 5 shows this month, but then next month he only pays me for 1 show. You know what I mean? So there's all these inconsistencies when it comes to the numbers. And personally, I just like an agency where I know how much money we're gonna be making every month. So that's number 1. Number 2 is just tracking and the right software. Personally, right now, I don't believe that there's a software available in the marketplace. Now, I might be wrong. I don't know all the softwares that exist, right? But the 2 main ones at the time was Alan, and we stopped using Alan and then we switched to High Level. And both of those softwares have their pros and cons. What's really great about Alan is that, they kind of handle the entire scheduling for you. They have the AI, they have kind of service where all the setup and all the operations are handled within the Alan software. Since then, Alex has sold the company, so it's being run by someone else now. I personally haven't used it since then, so I don't know what the current setup is. But previously, we used to spend $1,000 to get a client signed up. That was our fee, what we were charged as the agency. And then we were charged a fee of about, I think it was, honestly, I don't recall. It was like 19 or 29, X dollars for every show that showed up. So there was a fee that we were charging our clients, a show fee, but then Alan would charge a show fee to us as well. And what we ended up realizing was that a third of our revenue was actually going to Alan. And that was an expense that I wanted to minimize. And so we looked at how we can come off that platform. 1, because we felt it was just too expensive. But then 2, at the time, Alan was still a newer software and it still currently had some bugs that were causing a lot of issues for our clients. The other thing that was like a really big philosophical thing, at least for me when it comes just to running business, I kind of felt like my whole business was centered around Alan. Like if Alan at any point just went out of business, my whole business was gone because my business was based on this one software functioning and operating correctly. And so it did have some bugs when we first started, and clients would get random messages and stuff like that. We couldn't also do refunds. And then supposedly Alan has like this AI, it can track with 98% certainty that a lead shows up or not, which is a good thing for the agency, but a bad thing for the client. Whereas like the software knows if somebody shows up or not. And then we would bill that lead, but then the client would say, well, that lead didn't show up. And we would kind of be a back and forth of like he said, she said, and then we were just kind of forced to refund the client to kind of continue that relationship with them, but then Alan doesn't do any refunds. So at least at the time it didn't. So we ended up losing twice because we paid Alan and then we had to refund the client. And so those are some big issues that we had with Alan. We decided to switch off to using High Level. I kind of built out a billing system within High Level. The thing about High Level too is that it always breaks. Like there's always some issue with it, and it wasn't great for tracking. So clients will tell us that a lead had showed up, but then the software wouldn't bill. You know what I mean? And then we just didn't know that it wasn't billing until, weeks later. And it just always turned into this huge issue. And so mainly, I just don't think there's the right software in the market right now that basically allows you to do it
correctly and efficiently. I think there's just a lot of cognitive overhead that goes into a pay-per-show model, that you have to have the right software in place. And if you don't have the right software, it's just too complicated, man. Like, it was just too complicated for us, and we just decided to move off of pay-per-show entirely. Number 3 is, if you're gonna be in pay-per-show, you have to really be conscious of what industry you're in. I specifically said that I don't believe in the pay-per-show model in the medical industry because it's my opinion that the pay-per-show model is based on volume. If you can definitely make a ton of money with pay-per-show, but at least in the medical industry, doctors are not about working more. Like, I believe that Alan worked really well for Hormozi simply because of the fact that they're in the gym space and they're all about the hustle, they're all about getting more people in there, and their whole model is not on like them actually doing more work. Sometimes they do if they're doing classes or whatever, but I mean, honestly, you just fill up the gym, you know, you sell more people, you fill up the gym, and you're good to go, right? Well, medical is not like that. Medical, obviously, you have to provide the service, and it's also a mentality thing. Like, doctors don't want to work more and make more. Doctors want to work less and make more. And so, for example, we had clients that were only open 2 days a week and we were getting them great results, but then I would tell them, hey man, you got to open up another day. Like, let's get you to 2, 3 days, 4 days. They're like, nah, man, like, I'm just going to take it easy. I'm making all this money. I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to go on vacation, yada, yada. And we're also giving them exclusivity so we can bring on another client in that area. Again, like I said, if I'm having this conversation with Hormozi, he would tell me all the things that I should have done, and he's right. I'm not arguing that. That's what I'm saying, that like at the end of the day, you know, this is just my opinion. And one of the things that we could have done is we could have turned down those type of clients. Maybe we could have also just done a paper phone call show instead of an actual like in-person show, which was what Hormozi was recommending at the time. But that model just didn't really fit well with our clients, and we also just didn't want to turn down people because we were trying to just get as many clients as we could, right? And so really, that's just what it boiled down to. Now, I will give you a piece of advice and a little trick that you can implement in your sales process. Like, you can still advertise pay-per-show so that you can ultimately get, like, you leverage that offer so you can get more people opting into your funnel and scheduling a sales call with you. But then once you bring them into the sales call, you can basically say, yes, we do offer a pay-per-show model. You have to meet this criteria. So you can list all the criteria. 3 things for sure that I would require for every client if they're going to do pay-per-show. They need to give you an open calendar. They need to spend $100 a day on advertising minimum. And the third one, which is the most important, they have to be open at least 5 days a week. And if they don't fit the criteria, well, hey doctor, right now, unfortunately, you don't qualify for this model. So we do have this other option, which is a retainer model. And then you basically just kind of like steer them towards what you want. And I've actually implemented this in my agency, not exactly with pay-per-show, but what we did is that we ran a $1 offer. We told people that you can get started with our program for $1, which is true. They could actually do that. But if we got them the result after 30 days that they wanted, they would have to pay us $16,000. But if they paid now, if they paid up front, they could actually save $4,000 and just pay $12,000 for the whole program. And that actually worked really, really well for us. I think out of maybe, let's just say 20 people that paid in full, I think only like 3 people paid $1. And so that was actually really great. All right, guys, so hopefully you found this insightful. If you have any questions, go ahead and list them below. What do you think about pay-per-show? Are you currently running a pay-per-show model? And what has been your experience? Comment below and let me know what you guys got going on. If you like this video, if you found this information insightful, go ahead and like and subscribe. So this channel is gonna be basically focused on business, gear reviews, and travel. So if you guys enjoy any of those things, just go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next video.